Om Shakti, Sai Ram, Satchidananda, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. Must cover everybody. Have I covered everybody? Good. I was very taken by what the youth were saying just now. In fact, tomorrow, at the end of the session, the last session, I'll talk about the agenda of action, the way forward. You see, one of the wonderful things I see for this, what you all have done is something very unique. See, the track actually, as I said, is not organized. It's a movement of everybody get together and trying to revive the interests of youth, so that the temples will be full in future. And so that the youth will not forget their tradition and culture. This is the purpose of track. To reignite the interest and flame. To make the religion a living reality, to make God a living reality in the lives of people, not just someone you worship once a week. The youth must take this up, as a challenge. And they cannot do this just by lectures. Youth must get involved in activities and feel the power of divinity flowing. Now, what you have done here in Los Angeles is unique because I must congratulate the organizers here who put the whole thing together. Because you got about 31 Hindu organizations who got together to co-sponsor this event, which is the world's first kind of situation, okay? In Australia, where Australian track was launched, they've got the track group, managed, you see, the program must be run by Hindus, not dividing people, but uniting people. The tracks, one thing is to unite people under the umbrella of tradition, religion, and culture. Then each of you, I'll tell you my objective is that the more youth get excited about religion, I don't care which group they join, okay? I don't care which temple they go to. But more people must get interested, then only the temple they'll go to, whichever temple, whichever group. They can join any group, they can join any temple, but first we must ignite to them an interest in the religion. This is the main purpose. In Australia, for example, something unique happened also like this. Here 30 organizations in one city took part. In Australia, the track group managed to unite all the temples in Australia. In fact, we had a main track session in Sydney. Temple leaders from Perth, Darwin, right across, every temple leader came together for the first time in the history of Australia for a meeting to unite and they discussed some very, very critical agenda. How can we get youth interested in temple activities? How can we get youth interested to come back and take a dynamic part? How can the youth become a force in the temple rather than just a subsidiary? You stand there and watch the show and go off, you see. These are the issues, and how can the relevant religion be relevant in today's modern society? These are issues now that we must discuss, Hindus must discuss, in environments, that are becoming more pervasive, more and more used to cultures and traditions foreign to values that you think is noble and true. These are the issues, that have to be discussed, and the temples are the grounds. The temple, tradition, culture, and religion must be in. And what is religion? Religion is values. There are no values and no religion. You can't say, I'm going to have a religion today and pray and tomorrow become a rogue, okay? So how do we merge all these things? This is, how can we at a young age give them this strength? That's the purpose. Anyhow, all that we will discuss this during the last session. I shall propose, based upon experience in Malaysia, Australia, other places, what agenda of action the youth, the temples and spiritual groups can take part in to make this a more dynamic, exciting. So the religion must become exciting for the youth. Then they'll participate. See? If you're going to bore them to death, they won't. I'm going to tell you one story. There was once, I went to a temple. This is a real story. Sometimes it sounds so fictitious, the stories I tell, but this is a real one. It's not a... Once I went to a temple, I went for a meeting. Actually, we went for a meeting. We were launching this Atma project in Malaysia, like what you all did, And we were doing a big service thing in one remote area. The big temple was there. So we decided to meet at the temple. So I went there, and there it was not the temple normal puja time. It was, say, somewhere around 11 o'clock in the afternoon. So some father had asked the priest to do a special puja for him or for his family. I don't know what it was. So as we entered the temple, I saw this father standing there like this, alone. Because it's not, and then the priest was doing some abhishekam, on the deity. He was doing, he was bathing in deity and doing some prayers. Beside this father, was, I think, about 8 or 9-year-old boy. Okay, I can't imagine the 9 with the slim fellow. This guy was standing beside the father. When we entered the place, I'm not too sure how long the prayer is going on. This poor boy standing beside the father. Father was like this. That boy, I was watching him. That fellow was going through the biggest torture and agony you can imagine in your life, okay? He was suffering. But out of fear, more of fear of the Father than of God, he stood there undergoing the suffering. Anyway, we went for the meeting. But the meeting was over, we came out, the torture was over, the prayer was over. And I saw the boy and the father standing there, see? So I called this boy. I felt so sorry for this boy. I called this boy. Come here. He came to me. I said, come on, son. Do you want to get God's grace? I asked him. This guy looked at me in horror, because he already had 3 hours of God's grace. And the last thing he wanted was some of that. See, I'm telling you the truth. He looked at, I said, come, you want God's grace? He dare not answer, because yes, but gave me another 3 hours. Then I said, no, very simple. Within 1 second you can get, Then he looked at me. Okay, 1 second he thought he'll go for that. Then he said, he nodded. I tell you one thing, this boy was terrified. I was asking about God's grace. Then I called his father. Come here, I said. Stand here. I told the son, do Pada Namaskar for your father, I said. Get your father's blessing. I told the father, give vibhuti for your son. Put vibhuti for your son. I said, son, the easiest way to get God's grace. Get father's blessing. Get mother's blessing every day. Make father and mother happy. Every day make father and mother happy. Get their blessing. Easiest way to get God's grace. I told the father, Father, you bless your son every day. Get your mother to bless your son every day. Teach them. Make them sing. This is a very simple way to get God's grace. Dear brothers and sisters, the question now is that we cannot terrify our youth. We cannot torture them and expect them to love God. Because you are used to you're already retired. You have nothing much to do. So you don't mind spending 3 hours standing in front of the altar while the puja is going on. But these guys, they want something to do. They want to go out, and here you are, So how can we then make the religion exciting for them? This is a challenge. It's a real challenge in modern times. If not, we can lose the youth. For them, the religion will only be a label. So I thought this I'll talk about, when we, oh my. Oh. We'll talk about this when we convene tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow after the final session, we will talk about this. Okay, over here. Now many people are interested to know, not so much what I'm going to talk about the Vedas, they want to know what has James Bond got to do with Hinduism. So I thought I'll start with that one. Actually, Bond was not supposed to come up so early. Accidentally he came up. A bureau bhajan is in fact, tomorrow I'm going to talk something about that also. Okay? Alan, I'm saying truth, he said. What happened when James, okay, all of you know James? Right? How many of you have seen a James Bond movie? Good, you see, I tell you. How many of you see the Ramayana movie? Hey, don't bluff. So this is a true story. James Bond was once flying in a plane. Where else would he fly? On a flight, James Bond was sitting beside an Indian guy, Indian gentleman. I won't mention his name because he's in this room. He'll mention it later. So, the Indian guy asked, hello there, what is your name, sir? Hello there, what is your name, sir? He asked. So, James Bond replied, my name is Bond. James Bond. You all know how he replies, okay? He said, so what is your name, sir? My name is Bond. James Bond. Then James Bond replied, and you? He replied, my name is Shiva. Venkata Shiva Lakshmi Narayana. Venkata Shivanavasu Lakshmi Narayana. Venkata Rajasekhara Srinivas Lakshmi Narayana. Venkata Shiva Rama Rajasekhara Srinivas Lakshmi Narayana. That put James Bond in his place, okay? From that day onwards, James Bond never asked the Indian guy what his name is. This is a true story. I tell you. That's why you don't see Indians acting in the James Bond movies. They tried to get Aishwarya Rai, but I don't think she ever accepted the role. All right. Let's get into something less serious, okay? Sorry. Okay. Here again, let us see now again, I want to introduce the Vedas through songs here to all of you. Remember now, earlier we talked about the Mahavakyas, okay? Again, the 4 Mahavakyas are Prajnanam, Brahma, I am Atma Brahmam, Tattvamasi and Aham Brahmasmi. Basically, it shows the destination, the highest aspiration of every human being to realize divinity. That Mahavakyas say that. Here is something else which you all can be interesting to remember. This particular thing talks about the nature of God and man's relationship with God, okay? You'll see now in the Vedas statements like this that describe nature of God. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. Perhaps you will say loudly. Sarvam. It's a divinity pervades everywhere. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. This is from Vedic scripture. That means describing nature of divinity, okay? One is you are God. Second is the nature of divinity, all pervasive. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. Isavasya idam sarvam. Divinity lies everywhere. Divinity is everywhere. Now remember now I told you the Upanishad. It's called the Isavasya Upanishad. This is the first line of the Isavasya Upanishad. Isavasya idam sarvam. Divinity lies everywhere. He is everywhere, divine. Okay, God has not 1 micro inch of the world where He is not. Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam. Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam. Come on. Divinity is in every element, in every being, divinity exists. There's no being, even the most cruel filler divinity exists, okay? However, the divinity is covered up by all the negativity. So, Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam. Divinity is in every element, in every being, divinity pervades, He exists. Sarva Bhuta Namaskaram Kesavam Pradigacchati. Sarva Bhuta Namaskaram Kesavam Pradigacchati. Very interesting line, this one. The worship we offer to all elements, all beings, reach the one God. So the worship we offer to every being, every element, reaches the one God. That's why the Hindus always do like this when you greet someone. When a Hindu raises hands like this, he is worshipping the divinity that resides in you. That's the meaning of this. I worship the divinity that resides in you. There's also another great meaning of this, and that is this. I worship the divinity resides in you. However, for me, look at the meaning of this, how the rishis and the great saints extrapolate greater and greater meanings, okay? This, I worship the divinity resides in you. More than this, the 5 here represents the inner senses of man, 5 the outer senses of man. The karmendriyas, this I'll talk about later, okay? But to reach God, you have got to balance both the karmendriyas must be in balance. Then, I worship you, but when I worship you, the one finger, the thumb is pointing back at me. The God is also inside me. I worship you. So look at this, what's called as the symbol. It's a powerful symbol to understand the nature of God. I worship you. To reach God, I must balance my five senses, inner and outer senses. When I do that, divinity, finger points at me that I am divine. So, this is the worship we offer to all elements, reaches the one God. Sarva Bhuta Namaskaram Kesavam Pradigacchati. So, one more time. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma Isavasyam Idam Sarvam Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Sarva Bhuta Namaskaram Kesavam Pradigacchati. Now, this you'll find many great masters quoting this. No. Bhagavan Baba has quoted this, many often all this. Not in this pen, he'll differently they'll pick up. Chinmayanda has quoted this. It's all Vedas. These are all basic Vedic things that they mention to remind us. So, how are we to remember this? Through song. That's right. So that's how we do this, okay? I tell you, because I cannot remember my own phone number, I can't remember. So how can I remember? But some of the songs I remember, So I just ask God guide me into songs and we will. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. Oh, let's all more power into this, Sit up straight, then you get your voice coming actually. See how this the what Prema group sang this, You are more than them here, Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma Isavasyam Idam Sarvam Ishvara Sarva Bhutana Sarva Bhuta Namaskaram. You follow the meaning, Follow the meaning now. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. Oh Lord, you pervade the universe. Isavasyam Idam Sarvam. There is no place, divinity doesn't exist. Ishvara Sarva Bhutana. Oh Lord, you exist in every element, every being. Sarva Bhuta Namaskaram. But there's only half the sentence, The full sentence is Sarva Bhuta Namaskaram. Kesavam Pradigacchati. The worship I offer to all beings, reach the one God. That's the meaning, Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. Sarvam Brahma Isavasyam Idam Sarvam Vasyam Idam Sarvam Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Sarva Bhuta Namaskaram. Sarva Bhuta Namaskaram. Namaskaram Kesava Pradigacchati. Adigacchati Sarva Bhuta Namaskaram. Sarva Bhuta Namaskaram Kesava Pradigacchati. Kesava. Come on, all clap. Gacchati Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. Come on. Idam Brahma Isavasyam Idam Sarvam Idam Sarvam Ishvara Sarvabhutanam, Ishvara Sarvabhutanam, Sarvabhuta Namaskaram, Sarvabhuta Namaskaram, Sarvabhuta Namaskaram, Namaskaram, Kesava Pradigacchati, Pradigacchati, Sarvabhuta Namaskaram, Sarvabhuta Namaskaram, Kesava Pradigacchati, Kesava Pradigacchati. Oh my Lord, you are everything, oh my Lord. Everything, oh my Lord, you are in all I see. Oh my Lord, you are in all I see. The worship I offer to all I see. The worship I offer to all I see. Kesavam pradigacchati, Kesavam pradigacchati. The worship I offer to all I see. The worship I offer to all I reaches you, my Lord, Tattvam Asi. Reaches you, my Lord, Tattvam. All together. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma, Isavasyam Idam Sarvam, Ishvara Sarvabhutanam, Sarvabhuta Namaskaram, Sarvabhuta Namaskaram, Kesava Pradigacchati, Sarvabhuta Namaskaram, Kesava Pradigacchati. Oh my Lord, you are everything. Oh my Lord, you are it. All I see. The worship I offer to all I see. Kesavam pradigacchati. The worship I offer to all I see. Reaches you, my Lord, Tattvam Asi. The worship I offer to all I see. Reaches you, my Lord, Tattvam Asi. Now you all are Sanskrit experts already. We not only know the objective of the Vedas, but we know now the nature of divinity. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma, Isavasyam Idam Sarvam, Ishvara Sarvabhutanam, Sarvabhuta Namaskaram, Kesava Pradigacchati. Now anyone asks you about Vedas, even as James Bond, you know what I tell him, right? Do you know anything of Vedas? Yes. Sarvabhuta Namaskaram, Kesava Pradigacchati. Can you imagine? The guy will never ask you again, okay? So try to remember this as we go on. See, what I want to tell you, these Vedas don't take you down to normal level, It takes you to the supra-mental level of consciousness. Make you understand you are divine, the divinity pervades everywhere, the worship you offer to others comes back, goes to the... That kind of thought, okay? It is this particular level. But then, of course, it must tell you also how to get there, So that's the next part of it, all right? Now today, I'm going to actually, this Veda session is a pretty heavy session. So today, if I load all of you too much Vedas, then you go crazy. We don't want that. So I'm going to show you now a different aspect of Veda. For example, many youngsters, here again, I'm very regret that many youngsters are not here today. I wish the hall is full of youngsters. Think that this religion, Hinduism, has nothing, it's all tradition, superstition, bring coconut, throwing flowers, And there's no science in this, But I tell you one thing. The incredible science in Hinduism, in the Vedas, will stun you. Our rishis were called acharyas. They were teachers. I call them spiritual scientists. They were actually spiritualists who were scientists, And they were not just scientists discovering the inner universe of some transcendental consciousness. They were scientists discovering the universe. They were scientists interpreting the law of the physical universe as well as they were interpreting the laws of spiritual universe. Now, I'm going to give you a glimpse now of what I call, this is a session called V2. The first session was V1. This is V2. It's called the introduction science in the Vedas. Have I gone through a session with you? Hello? How many of you say I've gone through a session with you? Science and Vedas. Not yet. You're going to put up your hands, sir? No, you went up to your cheek, I thought. It's like what is this? Auction, you know. When I ask a question, be careful where your hand goes up to head. I mean, you already bought the stuff, okay? Now here's something that continued to amaze me as I began to discover the truth, that this is what the inherit. Now, here again, we talk about science, okay? I'm bringing this up because it's in the Vedas, But this actually, again, nothing to do with Hinduism as such, as we know it today. It is Sanatana Dharma, it's eternal right, it is with knowledge. Same as gravity, is not a Christian law. Likewise, all these discoveries made by people around the world are laws of universal nature meant for the whole world. But it so happened that the guy who discovered it or put it forward, could have been a Hindu, Christian, whatever. But this, can you imagine, all this now is in the ancient scriptures, okay, of the Hinduism, or the Vedas. What is it? Hinduism, what is it, okay? Is Hinduism a fatalistic religion? We must ask ourselves. Or a religion of dynamic living. At one time, until 32 years old, I thought it was a fatalistic religion, no meaning, nothing. Today I realize now it's a force for living. Is all of Hinduism merely temples and deities, rituals and worship? That's all we know. Ask any Hindu today, for him Hinduism only deities, rituals and worship, that's it. No, nothing else. But here again, remember I told that is only the tip of the iceberg, It's the tip of the, in fact not even tip, it's only a snow on the tip of the iceberg. The whole knowledge is inside. This is the tip of the iceberg, what you see today in the Hindu temple. In fact, this iceberg is a big one. The Rishis were scientists of the human spirit and worldly knowledge. The Rishis were not just scientists of spirit as such. They also spirit, so for them there's no difference, The Rishis, the ancient Rishis did not make a difference between science as worldly science. For them, everything was God. In fact, I tell you, if you go back a bit in every ancient tradition, all the scientists were spiritual people. Look at Europe, the great, masters of Europe, all very, Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci, all these guys, they all were associated with churches and whatever, and they all were associated very much with divinity. And this has made the problem in the early days, when they discovered things that appeared to go against the traditional thinking, then they were persecuted, see. When they discovered scientific truth, like Galileo and Copernicus, discovering, that the sun is the center of the universe. Rather, before that, they thought Earth was the center, see. When Galileo and Copernicus we were all part of the church environment, and when they made this discovery, they were excommunicated, they were punished. So this ancient times, the Brahmin, so to speak. See, the Brahmin group, I've already given you last time a session on caste system, so I won't go into that again. Okay, I've explained to you the dynamics of why the caste system is there, and the fact that virtually every society has this. And the Brahmin is only those people who are doing, every society has this. The people who are doing worship, whether in a church, who are doing worship, and all scientists, all these people involved in grasping mysteries of the mind, these are all Brahmins. So scientists were actually Brahmins. Today, in today's world, scientists are all Brahmins. Okay, and those days there was no distinction. Today there's a distinction between the guys who are doing scientific work and religious work. Those days they were same people. In India too, many years ago, this was same because they are the thinkers. They were thinkers. They began to delve into mysteries of the universe. And here's something fantastic. The value of pi r square, those of you in algebra, was first calculated in India by Buddhanaya. Conservative scholars put him at least in the 6th century BC, long before it's known in Europe. 6th century BC. He was the one who propounded the concept of pi. You know pi r square, algebra? You don't know, doesn't matter. It doesn't make it. Buddhayana was also the first to introduce mathematical way to calculate the hypotenuse of a right angle triangle. You know what's a right angle triangle? Okay, the famous thing that confused us in school, okay? All right. Now, watch now. Here we are. That's a right angle triangle. This right angle triangle. Okay? Now what's the famous formula here? You know? That's right, the square of the hypotenuse, okay, is what equal to the sum of the square of the two sides. Okay, right, very good. I never learned this in school, I couldn't understand this. Only now after I learned this one, I get to remember this, okay. But I got a friend of mine who's a mathematician there, Rhodes Scholar, doing his PhD from Malaysia. This guy could know it better. This one, A squared plus B squared equals Q squared, C squared. The square of the hypotenuse equals the sum of the square of the other two sides. This was the famous, what is it called now by modern people? Call it what? The Pythagoras theorem. But Buddhayana was the one long before 5000 BC, the fellow made this thing, right? But he didn't publicize it well. He didn't have a good PR agent for him. So this is what now. The Shulba Sutra, the Buddhanaya, this is okay, written prior to 8th century BC in India, used a theorem about 2 centuries before it introduced by Pythagoras into Greece in 6th century BC. So Pythagoras 6th century BC, this guy 8th century BC, okay. The wording of the theorem in the Shubla Sutras is exact. Watch now what the wording says. In the Sutras, 8000 BC, the diagonal chord of the triangle makes both the squares that the horizontal and vertical sides make separately. The diagonal chord of the triangle, makes both the squares that the horizontal and vertical sides make separately. This is the Pythagoras theorem. It's stunning, that this guy's knew about it. I still can't grasp it. Evidence of geometrical drawing instruments from as early as 2500 BC have been found in the Indus Valley. The beginnings of algebra can be traced to the constructional geometry of Vedic priests, which was preserved in the Shulba Sutras. You know, when the Vedic priests started doing, this yagna pits, okay, and this yantras, they followed geometrical patterns, okay, that became so exact. They had to know the science of this, how to draw this, not by guesswork, Shall we draw this way? See, matches are exact triangular. No, they knew how to make it, every time, right? So there was a science to this. Exact measurements, orientation, and different geometrical shapes for the altars. It's mostly used for altars, for prayers. And arenas used for religious functions, yagnas. They occupy the important part of the Vedic religion and culture as described. So they use this particular knowledge to, for example, a yagna pit must be drawn to certain specifications, okay? You just can't make it any size you want. Anyone, brother, you are involved in yagnas. This gentleman here, sir, put up your hand, sir. He is doing yagnas, The other day, this gentleman, he went and did a yagna in a Christian priest's house, okay? It's a wonderful, so the wonderful emergence of both. You must praise the Christian who was prepared to accept this tradition, and the priest was prepared to go there and do this, okay, wonderful. Many of the calculations employ the geometrical formula known as the Pythagorean theorem. This theorem, 540 BC, equates the square of the hypotenuse of a right angle with the sum of the square of the other two sides. So this is what the basic theory they use now to draw all this. If you notice now, this yantras, are made in triangles, right, sir? You mean triangles, okay? Then the triangle upon triangle upon triangle upon triangle. See? The world's first major university and trade school was in Takshila, then in northwestern India around 700 BC. Some scholars estimated. It boasted 1,000 students from all over the known world who studied 60 disciplines taught there. This was the first university ever in the world, 700 BC. There must be the area those days, they must dug it out. The art of navigation was invented 6,000 years ago by navigators of the Indus River. The English word navigation is derived from the Sanskrit word navagat and the word navy from the Sanskrit now. Would you believe this? I was quite stunned. It sounds quite navigate and navigation. Can you see the parallel here? Okay. But trouble is, these guys didn't use the knowledge any further, They discovered it, but then, sometimes I tell my Indian friend, don't be very proud of it. You discover what you did with it. Nothing, I haven't said. Others took it and made use of it. So the fact you discover is one thing, But to take it and use it, applied science, no, the application is not there. That's the problem with these guys. Ayurveda, the earliest known system of medicine and surgery, was developed in the Vedic period in India. Sushrut, the father of surgery, developed surgical procedures including cesareans, cataract removals, setting fractures, removing urinary stone, even plastic and brain surgery. Can you imagine Vedic period? And they had this can see this kind of drawings, to show all the nerves and all inside the body. How do they know this? How do they know all these nerves are there? Same as Chinese, by the way. I must tell you, the Chinese, acupuncture, they show, how do they know this kind of thing? Without modern, X-ray machines and what you call it, thermal machines. How do they know all this thing? These guys had all this kind of stuff, Can you imagine brain surgery and all this? And we thought they were using hammers to hit the brain and open the skull, okay? Over 125 surgical tools are named in the ancient Sushrut medical texts. Anesthesia is also well known. Detailed texts of anatomy, physiology, etiology. I don't know what this is actually. Anyone knows what this is? What's etiology? What? Oh, cause of disease. You see? Even I don't know what kind of thing. A doctor, sir? Are you a doctor? Oh, no wonder. Okay. Embryology, digestion, metabolism, genetics, immunology date from Vedic times. I mean, that's not one of the instruments, okay, just a picture there.
The Plastic Society of American Plastic Surgery, they have recognized Shishusha as the father of modern plastic surgery.
Fantastic. Thank you, sir, for confirming this. You never know. Wow, a close call, so I tell you. That's what I call a close call, okay. I tell you, it's dangerous, this Hinduism getting dangerous. Too many people know something. The Indian astronomer and mathematician, Bhaskacharya. See the word Acharya here? These are the teachers, they all teachers, okay. Bhaskacharya, the 5th century BC. This is estimated dates also maybe these dates no one can know, but they can just guess it. They think this even 5th century may be too early, they say, maybe below. Calculated the time taken by the earth to orbit the sun to 9 decimal places. 34. According to Bhaskacharya's calculations, which were made in the 5th century BC, the time taken by earth to orbit the sun is 365.258756484 days. Can you imagine this? Slightly larger than the correct time. After all, today the mathematician now, slightly he made off, I think, by 8.4. He got it off a bit. I don't know how he made the mistake. Algebra, trigonometry, and calculus were first set forth in ancient India. This is incredible. How did this guy know this? To be able to say 365 days would have been already okay. The earth goes there. But to say 365.2587564, surely you make a mistake somewhere. These guys went too accurate. It's stunning, as well. Quite stunning. Aryabhata, the elder, this is now a bit more modern time, 450 AD, gave a summary of Indian mathematics that covers astronomy, spherical trigonometry, arithmetic, algebra, and plane trigonometry. Aryabhata also gives a formula for finding the area of a triangle and a circle. His main work, the Aryabhatiya, contains continued fractions, quadratic equations, sums of the power series, and table of... This is not sins, okay? All right, sines, okay, sine, cosine, okay. Though actually easier to do the table of sins, but... You know this, right? I'm talking about my Malaysian doctorate friend, okay? So here it's incredible, I'm modern philosophy, I never understood in school, okay? Aryabhata has given accurate approximation of pi of up to 3.1416. The first to use algebra. His most important achievement was the invention of zero, which enabled the development of the place number system. In fact, I think it's Einstein who said, we owe it to the Indian great minds for discovering of zero, without which much of I think Einstein said it. One would think what is so great about discovering zero. Many guys only discover zero in their lives, okay? But to be declared a wonderful thing that discover zero, incredible. Here, Aryabhata also wrote a text on astronomy, the Siddhanta, which taught that this is very interesting, which taught the apparent rotation of the heavens was due to the rotation of the earth on its axis. At a time when the West thought the earth was flat, When earth was thinking about the world was flat, he was telling now the earth is now rotating on its axis. Aryabhata gives the radius of the planetary orbits in terms of the radius of the Earth and Sun orbit, essentially the periods of rotation around the Sun. This kind of mind-boggling things. Can you imagine, what fascinates me is that there are no telescopes. There was no Hubble. There's no telescope as we know it today. How do they know this? They use here, it was pure, they reached the level of consciousness, they could see things, in the mind's eye that we can never imagine possible. He believed, Aryabhata believed that the moon and planets shine. The moon and planets shine by reflected sunlight. Can you imagine those days, 5000 BC, the moon is not light its own. It shines by reflected sunlight, and thought, incredible though it may seem, that the orbits of the planets around the sun are ellipses. So only now we know it's ellipses, Firstly, to know that that the planet going around the sun itself was a great discovery 5000 BC, which only Copernicus discovered. But also ellipses. This was 1,100 years before Copernicus and Kepler came up with the same discovery in Europe. How did they know this? This was fascinating me all the time. How did they discover these truths? What was the wonder? He also correctly explained the cause of the eclipse of the sun and the moon, and calculated the value of the length of the year at 365 days, 6 hours, 12 minutes, and 30 seconds. Slightly overestimate. Since the true value is less than 365 days, 6 hours. See, the fool, if you stopped at 365, 6 hours, you'll be all right, okay? But these guys try to show off, So he went 365 days, 6 hours, 12 minutes, and 30 seconds, If he had stopped 365 days and 6 hours, he would have been correct. Now they can find some fault with him. Well, you're wrong. 5,000 years ago, you're wrong in calculating this particular thing. I tell you, these guys, this trouble the Indians. Never know when to stop. Quotes about India. See the fascination that others have, sometimes the Indians themselves don't appreciate their own wealth of tradition and culture. French scholar Romain Rolland said, if there's one place on the face of the earth where all the dreams of living men have found a home from the earliest days, when man began to dream of existence, it is India. Hu Shi, former ambassador of China to USA, said, India conquered and dominated China culturally for 20 centuries without having to send a single soldier across the border. The entire Buddhism that China has, and even Taoism now comes from, the Indian text again. I told you about Kuan Yin, goddess of mercy, is Lakshmi of the Hindu tradition. Albert Einstein, now here we are. We owe a lot to the Indians who taught us how to count, without which no worthwhile scientific discovery could have been made. Einstein saying this. In fact, I didn't realize the Indians taught us how to count again. I thought my Chinese teacher taught me. Mark Twain said, India is the cradle of human race, the birthplace of human speech, the mother of tradition. Our most valuable and most instructive materials in the history of man are treasured up in India only. The official exponent of the German faith, J.W. Howe, a Sanskrit scholar who served for some years as a missionary in India, gives to Gita a central place in German faith. This surprised me when I read this. He calls it a work of imperishable significance. He declares that the book gives us not only profound insights that we are valid for all times. Watch this. Remember I told you Sanatana Dharma must be eternal for everybody. Hinduism, Sanatana Dharma is for everybody. He says this. He declares the book gives us not only profound insights that are valid for all times and for all religious life, but it contains as well the classical presentation of one of the most significant phases of Indo-Germanic religious history. It shows us the way as regards the essential nature and basal character of the Indo-German religion. So here's a very, very fascinating commentary by a German spiritual master. And finally, here's something very interesting. A comment by someone. I have been quite impressed with the balance of reporting of the highly complex issues within Hinduism. This is a particular letter written to Hinduism Today. You know the magazine Hinduism Today, the Hinduism Today, that is printed by the incredible work they're doing now, the Saiva Siddhanta group, in Hawaii, okay. Hello, how many of you have seen the book Hinduism Today? Right, the one from Hawaii, that Subramania Swami, he's passed away. Now, Somebody had read this one, and he's writing to them, and this is taken from that particular book. I've been quite impressed with the balance of reporting of the highly complex issues within Hinduism, both as a social structure and as a philosophical system. Your reporters do not shy away from some of the ambiguities that attend public forms of worship, even while affirming the wisdom of this vast tradition. As my thoughts mature, I'm becoming increasingly persuaded that the three Western monotheisms. Now, when he says three Western monotheisms, I assume he means, Judaism, Islam, and Christianity. You see. Persuaded the three Western monotheisms are at an impasse, and Hinduism may provide the answers we need to further develop our religious consciousness. This looks like a good Hindu saying this, but actually, this is Dr. Robert Corrington, Professor of Philosophical Theology, Medicine, New Jersey, USA. Dear friends, the science of Hinduism. I just wanted to break this from the teaching part of it and show you that I want the youth to understand this. Okay, why? At least they, oh my God, our religious masters, our spiritual masters, discovered this. Just a sense of pride. Then they want to know more. You see, why are all these youngsters with this? I want to know more about the religion. My God, I realize it's not a superstitious stuff. If these guys can discover that Earth went 365.6.12 minutes and 6 seconds, hey, these guys knew something, So let me see what they have to offer us. That is the purpose of I want to share this with the youth, okay, of today. All right. Okay, now let's see how we are doing with the song here now. Come on. All right, let's see. All of you know meanings, okay? Remember, I'm not a Veda chanting Hindu, okay? I want to, let's know the meaning. We need not know everything. We know a few, but let's know with the meaning, all right? Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma, meaning. Hello? Pervades everywhere, okay? Isavasham idam sarvam. Ishvara sarva bhuthanam. Divinity is every bhutanam. Bhuta means what? Every element, every living being. Sarva bhuta namaskaram kesavam pradigajjati. The worship you offer to every element, every living being comes back to you. Comes back to you. Goes back to God. Goes back to God, comes back to you. No. Everything you offer to anyone goes to God, but actually comes back to you. You connect the others, you see. Once you go Tattva-masi, you understand. The worship you offer to everyone goes to God and comes back Tattva-masi. So the circle is complete. So if you offer hatred to someone, hatred comes back to you. That's the meaning of the message here now. If you offer jealousy, selfishness to someone, it burns you. Offer love, it comes back to you. That's the main message trying to tell us. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Sarvam kalvidam brahma Isavasyam idam sarvam Ishvara sarva bhutana sarva bhuta namaskaram. Sarvam kalvedam brahma sarvam kalvedam brahma Isavasyam idam sarvam Ishvara sarva bhutanam sarva bhuta namaskaram sarva bhuta namaskaram karam kesava pradigacchati sarva bhuta namaskaram sarva bhuta namaskaram kesava pradigacchati. Come on, clap, enjoy yourself. Om my Lord, you are everything. Oh my Lord, you are everything. Oh my Lord, you are in all I see. Oh my Lord, in all I see, the worship I offer to all I see, the worship I offer to all I see. Kesavam pradigacchati, Kesavam pradigacchati, the worship I offer to all I see, the worship to all I see. Reaches you, my Lord, tattvam. I see, reaches you, my Lord, tattvam. All together. Sarvam kalvidam brahma isa. Sarva namaskaram kesava pradigacchati Bhuta namaskaram kesava pradigacchati. Oh my Lord, you are. Oh my Lord, you are in all I see, the worship I offer to all I see. Kesavam gacchati, the worship I offer to all I see. Reaches you, my Lord, tattvam I see. Reaches you, my Lord, tattvam I see. Very good. Again, you're all immortal souls here. What's the timing like? Before I move to another phase of the topic, please. Timing, please. Huh? Half an hour. Good. Half an hour. So half an hour, I'll give you a lighter subject now. Huh? Something very interesting. Huh? This is the song. Very interesting subject. Brother, can you block that thing for me? The light. So I don't want to reveal to you what I got here. See? So that I can spring a surprise on you. We're going to play a game. We're going to play a spiritual game and see where that leads us. All right. As you all know, one of the basic foundation of Hinduism is dharma. What is the meaning of dharma? You see, foundation in Hindu is dharma. What is the meaning of dharma? Dharma, loosely we call the word righteousness. Righteous. Oh, what happened to the whiteboard? Huh? Oh, we don't have whiteboard. Huh? Oh, I see. We got a projector there, overhead projector. But that's too far away. Never mind. Is there any whiteboard down here? No, huh? No man. Huh? No man. Okay. Dharma means righteousness, right conduct. It's a normal word, okay? But really, the word dharma, the English language is the only language I use most of the time. But sometimes what fascinates me is that in the Sanskrit words, they have words of such power that one word cannot equivalently grasp it, okay? The only way we can describe the word dharma is actually the nature of a thing. Dharma is the nature of a thing, the law of life, if dharma. Now what I mean by this? But understand dharma first before we go to what I'm going to show you. I'm going to talk about a very fascinating subject here. Can we open the thing, please? We can talk about now acts of dharma or adharma. See who does adharma, you know? It's kind of bad guys. All right. Now, what is the meaning of dharma? Now, the word dharma is, last time I may have explained it here. But since many of you are not here, law of life. How to explain that? What's law of life? The another word says the raison d'etre. The raison d'etre of the existence of anything is its dharma. That means the reason for its existence is dharma. That describes it, okay? It's an example. An example will explain this to you. Figure, what is the raison d'etre? The reason for the existence of the sun. What is the divine, the law of life of the sun, without which it cannot be called the sun? What is the divine duty of the sun? Come, youngsters here. Light and heat, isn't it? What are you thinking? Sun, I'm not too sure. Which sun? Oh, you mean not the uncle's son? Oh, no, I mean the son, student's son. Sorry, sweetheart, I'm joking. Huh? Next time, she'll never sit in front. So, sun. So, what is the raison? The sun is light and heat, that's all. Now, imagine now, tomorrow, the sun says, okay, listen, I tell you from now on, no light, only heat. Can it be called the sun? Hello, cannot, okay? And the sun decides to take a holiday half a day, okay, a sun. You know what's going to happen to all of us? The Iceman cometh. We are dead. Someone said we get, once another session I had, they said cold. I said, cold? You're joking, you're dead. So, that's the sun. Imagine now, likewise, tree. Imagine now there's a tree. What's dharma of a tree? Come on, dharma of a tree. Shade, fruits, air, oxygen. Okay, now. Imagine you have something that looks like a tree, has leaves, has fruits, but no oxygen. Can it be called a tree? No, it's a stump, it's an artificial thing. Okay, that's dharma. Now imagine now this chair. Now my good friend Michael McCarthy, his card, it's a very interesting card he's got. This gentleman there, old brother of mine, Sai brother. His card, actually I'm very happy to see him. I haven't seen him for a long time. Brother, thank you for coming. His card, unique card. My card, for example, says I'm assistant controller or CEO, investment. His card says storyteller. I said, you can make a living out of that? Gee, I would like to join you. I'm telling stories and no one pays me for that. Heaven's sake. Okay, anyway. So imagine now Michael is sitting in the chair. Now what's the dharma of the chair? Dharma of the chair. Son, where's the young man? Yeah, son, tell me. Dharma chair to make him rest, somehow what else? To make him sit, isn't it? Huh? So, okay now. What's the chair made of? Who, young man, tell me, okay. Come, young man, stand. Very good, come on, stand. Huh? Cotton, what else is made of? Iron, somehow? Plastic, wow. Give us the young man a big hand, okay. Well done. What's your name, son? Huh? Kishan, come in front. Don't you know you're sitting with the old man there? sit in the chair, okay. Very good. Help me once in a while, okay? All right. So now, the chair is made of, as told by Kishan, not by me, because he's sitting in the chair. I don't know, I've not been sitting for the last 2 hours, okay? Made of cotton, the fabric, right? Cotton fabric, cushion, and iron. The chair. Now, so it's called a chair. Now, my friend Michael is sitting on the chair, right? Now, why is he sitting there? Because today, I notice he's put on a weight a bit. If the chair suddenly breaks and collapses and falls to pieces, if the chair breaks and collapses and falls to pieces, can it still be called the chair? Why? The metal is still there, the cushion is still there, the fabric is still there, yet why can't it be called the chair? Everything is there, why can't it be called the chair? Alright, so why can't it be called a chair still? Because he can't sit on it. That means the chair has failed what? Its duty, its dharma. You understand? That means that just because you have the components doesn't make it dharmic, Only when it fulfills the duty, it becomes dharmic. Okay. Likewise now, human beings, all of us, have dharmas. Whereas the chair has only, from the time the chair is born, so to speak, till it dies, it's only one dharma. It cannot change dharma, This projector is only one dharma. What is it? To project. This mic is only one dharma. The time it is made till the time it will disappear, it's only one dharma. But human beings are fantastic. Human beings are the only people, as they go through life, they collect dharma. New dharmas they acquire. It's as though we've been born with an invisible haversack in our back, And as we go through life, we put dharmas into the bag. For example, as we are young, duty. These young children here, sitting beside this lady here, what is their dharma? Or this young man here, what's his dharma now when they are born? At this stage now, before they go to school. Dharma of son and daughter, that's all it's not. As a child, dharma of child, very simple. Now, as they go to school now, they get a new dharma. What is that? Dharma of student. Now, while your schooling career, you all are going to school now? Right, okay. Schooling career, you got student dharma now in your bag. Then your new dharma comes in while in school. Tell me. What can it be? What new duties come into your school? New dharma comes in your school. Huh? Correct. Friends, okay, your dharma of friend. Okay, what else? Athlete. Dharma of athlete. Okay, school team. What else? Come on, who are students? Huh? Class president. Dharma of class president. Prefect. You got a librarian. Huh? Dharma. Now watch now. So some dharma you get by yourself, okay? That means, as a president, you got the dharma by yourself, isn't it? Or as a prefect or a school captain or a hockey player, you went and trained and got the dharma by yourself. But funnily enough, some dharma is put on us without our effort. For example, this young man, okay? You got brother and sister? No. Tomorrow he'll get a younger brother. Without any effort from his part, without any effort on his side, suddenly I'm elder brother. How does that become elder brother suddenly, And suddenly without any effort on your part, you become a cousin. Because somebody else, your father's brother did something, you're a cousin now. Like this, as we go through life, some dharma are put upon us without any effort on our part. Suddenly you got duty of a elder brother. Then you got duty of a younger brother. Duty of this, then so many dharmas are heaped upon us. Now, then he goes to a school exam, he passes exam. Now he goes out in the street, working. Then suddenly he sees some beautiful girl, or arranged marriage, I don't know what their tradition is there. Tomorrow what he is now, suddenly? He gets married, and then what is new dharma? What is that now? Dharma of husband. Husband, dharma of wife. 1 year later, suddenly, new dharma. Dharma of, with a bit of effort, of course, okay, dharma of father. So as you go through life, you're collecting dharma, Now, watch. Some dharmas, as you go through life, you can take out of your bag. Some you cannot take out. What are dharmas now you can take out as you go through life? Huh? Come on. Student dharma you take out. What else? Hello, what else? So many dharmas are back now, we've just put. Prefect dharma, librarian dharma, all you can take out, isn't it? But can you ever take out dharma of son from the bag? Hello? Can you take out dharma of daughter from the bag? Can you take out dharma of husband from the bag once you put it there? You cannot, you should not. But today, people are taking dharma of son has been taken out of the bag and thrown down. Dharma of daughter is being thrown. People are betraying dharma of son, dharma of daughter. Husbands betray dharma of husband. Wives betray dharma of wives. Businessmen betray dharma of businessmen. Doctors betray dharma of doctor. That is why society now is in this Kali Yuga. Going down. People are betraying their dharma. And as we grow older and older, more and more dharma, office worker, then tomorrow I got dharma of a cousin, tomorrow I got a dharma of an uncle, then granduncle, then grandfather. That is why as you get older, the people back bends a bit, okay? It's not osteoporosis, it's the hair, all these fellows don't know osteoporosis. It is the weight of dharma that weighs you down. So dear friends, that is dharma. Dharma means divine duty. A duty that you got, you move from the duty, you cannot be called that, okay? You understand so far dharma? Hello? Hello? Yes. Now can you all see this one here, with the thing here? Must be put aside. Move some. Can you all see? Okay, girls come this side some more. If you want to come this side. Okay, right. All right. Okay, I finished it. Okay, let me show you. Okay, fine. You're so far with me? Hello? Oh, yes. Okay, now. Now watch now. Now I'm going to play a game with you, management game. Play with me, okay? Are these actions, you now decide now, by voice vote we shall decide, Are these, what I'm going to tell you now, acts of dharma or adharma? Okay? Hello? Yes. Good. These actions, dharmic or adharmic? See, right now there's an adharmic thing going on right now, For example, I'm a speaker here. I'm speaking for 1 hour. Nobody has bothered to give me water. Dharmic, adharmic? See, I'm bringing spirituality to get a cup of water also, Tell you, times are changing. All right. If a husband leaves a wife after the first baby is born, would you consider it dharmic or adharmic? Hello? Adharmic. Louder, louder. Adharmic. Okay. Adharmic, huh? Dharmic means right, adharmic not right. Adharmic. Okay, now next question. Father plans to kill his son. Dharmic, adharmic? Depends. Where's the exit? Son kills his mother. Dharmic, adharmic? Adharmic. Husband chases pregnant wife away from home. Dharmic, adharmic? You're sure? All right. Son leaves widowed mother alone to pursue personal career opportunities outside. Dharmic, adharmic? Adharmic. Depends. All right. Child tricks parent into giving blessing for something parent is unhappy about. Dharmic, adharmic? Adharmic. Wife commits polyandry. You know what's polyandry? Polygamy, You see, when husband marries more than one person, you accuse of immediately polygamy. When wife marries more than one husband, it's called polyandry. That very few know this. More than one husband. Adharmic, adharmic? Husbands are keeping quiet. Polygamy. Husband secretly marries another woman. Would it be dharmic, adharmic? Unauthorized individual destroys shops of poor hawkers selling goods in an approved location. I'm sorry, I can't see this. Let me read that. Unauthorized individual destroys shops of poor hawkers selling goods in an approved location. Dharmic, adharmic? Adharmic. Dear friend, I'm very happy all of you declared the right. Now, can we judge all people by the same yardstick of dharma, adharma is the question. Now watch this now, divine drama taking place now. Husband leaves wife just first baby is born. You have just condemned the Lord Buddha as adharmic. Father plans to kill his son. You have just declared Abraham as adharmic. Son kills his mother. You just declared Parsurama as adharmic. Husband chases pregnant wife away from home. You just declared Rama as adharmic. You know what Rama did, right? Right. Son leaves widowed mother alone to pursue his personal career. You just declared Shankaracharya as adharmic. Adi Shankara. Adharmic. Child tricks parent giving blessing for something parent unhappy about. You just declared. Correct. Adi Shankara is adharmic again. He played the drama of the crocodile to get his mother's blessing. Then he went off. Wife commits polyandry, more than one husband. You just declared poor Draupadi as adharmic. I tell you, you all are going to, you know where you're going to go? In public, you have declared all these great beings as adharmic. God, I had nothing to do with it, they said. Polygamy, husband secretly marries another. You just declared Sundarmurti Nayanar, one of the great South Indian saints, as adharmic. Big drama, but those South Indian people may know this, okay? They wish they could follow, but they can't. Unauthorized individual destroys shops of poor hawkers selling goods in an approved location. Guess who this was? Exactly, Jesus Christ. That's adharmic. Dear friends, very interesting. Yeah. Here we have now declared 9 great souls as adharmic. Why? We have used our own measure of dharma and adharma. Now I know many of you here are not Sai devotees, okay? So please forgive me. Baba is good, so I'm going to give you what Swami says about this, okay? Just share this particular thing with you. So these are the 9 people. This is what Swami once I came across. Swami says, Dharma, which is concerned with the welfare of all, should override the dictates of mamakara, attachment, which confines itself to the interests of one's kith and kin. Very powerful message. Therefore, dharma, what you declared as adharmic earlier, the question is, was it done for selfish reason or for a higher dharma, higher cause? The question is whether it's selfish or higher. So here, when dharma, which is concerned with the welfare of all, should override the mamakara, attachment, which confines itself to interests of one's kith and kin. The dharma, which relates to societal well-being, should be held higher than man's duty to few, and therefore should not be sacrificed for the better. This is where people rise higher. It is not for you to leave your home to go and do something negative, okay? But for the welfare of the world. For loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. The attachment one has for one's relations may be compared to the clouds that suddenly gather in the sky and disappear in no time. All of you know this, Dharma, however, is that which sustains this earth. This is the dharma we talk about. Be careful, therefore, when we pass judgment. One yardstick is not for all. Dear friends, little dharmic game I played with you to show you that sometimes we cannot see things, You see, let me tell you something. Recently I had an interesting session here. I must tell this to you, okay? I shall share this with you. I am being actually very criticized by some of my own relations, in fact, who tell me that I should stay more at home. And I got 4 kids, and why are you going around the world doing this or this and that? Stay more at home. I was shaken up by this sometimes. But today, when I look back what I'm doing now, when my son passed away, you won't believe it, I got hundreds of emails coming from youth around the world. You know what they wrote to me? Uncle, we're very sorry you lost your son. But uncle, take me now, I'm your son. They write me, dear father, like this, they're writing me, youth after youth. They tell me, uncle, you don't understand how you changed my life. Because of you now, my parents are proud of me. When I get mail like this coming, I realize I cannot stop. I must continue. And so after my younger son died, and because some of my elders in my own family were criticizing me, that I'm traveling to India, stop traveling so much, they said. On top of everyone knew now, son passed on 27th of February, and now I'm hardly 2 weeks I'm leaving for America. And I had a great dharmic conflict in my own mind itself. Because the nature of my son's death, we have to do 90 days prayers in the home. And these words of Swami came to me. And I got 2 daughters now with me in the house. I talked to them. I said, listen, people are saying like this. But if you tell me now, I said, if you tell me that if I leave and go like this, doing this work, that something may happen to all of you, you may go wrong, you may do something adharmic. If you think that what I've taught you in all my life is not enough guidance for dharmic life for you, then tell me, I will cancel all overseas trips. I said. Because family is precious also. I can't, only wife is gone, now younger son is gone. It's like, one by one they're falling. Then my two children, my two daughters, Anushya and Saibanu, said, Papa, what you're talking about? Let them talk. Papa, tomorrow I'm going to go overseas to study, do my masters. You won't be there. So believe us, Papa, don't worry. We know what you're doing. We know the sacrifice you're making. We know the youth who are benefiting. Papa, go. So difficult measure, this one. So dharma and adharma hangs. The question is now, which is for the greater good? This is what every one of us must decide when we make a decision. What is for the greater good, for the benefit of society? And if example, what I'm doing now benefits society, benefits at least one individual here. If every session I have, if just one individual benefits, then in 1 year, at least about 10 people would have benefited because I existed. That is the reason why this has to go on. That's the reason why this dharma is so important. We've got to, every one of us have multiple dharmas in life. And we must fulfill this dharma to the highest sense. I didn't mean to get into that. Okay. Somebody is showing me a sign. I hand you back now to our MCs. And after that, we shall go into, what shall we go into now? Let's see. We go into V3. Upanishads. Okay, after that after the session we shall look into a glimpse of Upanishads.